Okay, so now I've got the arms on the two wing aileron servos, and remember that the aileron servo always points toward the tip, so that's going toward the tip, that's going toward the other tip, and now we got to see if it's going in the right direction. There's the right wing right there, and so this servo is just like it's sitting right here, where there's the hole and there's the aileron, and you can see that, I don't know, I can see the three little holes here where the control horn for the aileron will sit, and it's out in the tip direction. So if I turn the aileron to the right, I see this one going down and that one going up. Opposite is good. Okay. So that's going down, and if that goes down this way, it's going to push the aileron into the table. With the wing upside down, that means that aileron is going up. So when I go to the right, the right aileron should go up and the left aileron should go down, so that's good. Go to the left and the opposite occurs. So these two servos, even though they're independent of one another, they're on independent channels, are going in the correct direction. Okay, so I don't need to reverse any of the aileron servos. And now we're going to test the flaperon. Okay, so the flaperon, when I turn it on, both of these servos should go that way to pull the aileron down as a flap. So how do you do that? Well, in the I'll go into the first function list. Okay, and you go down to the where it says flap system. Remember, we already programmed it to say that this was, when we first did the first program in the last video, the only thing we programmed on it was on a new model, was the name and the flaperon setting. So I'm going to go into where it says flap system. And instead of inhibit, I'm going to say what switch it's going to be on. So with it flashing there, I'm going to use this switch here, switch D. Okay, when I flip switch D, it says, oh, you want switch D. Thank you very much. Okay, so now position 0 will be flaps up, which will be where it is now. Position 0. Position 1 will be half flaps, and position 2 will be full flaps. So in order to what I'm going to do is go down to position 2 and change that in some direction. I'm just going to go plus 20%. Okay. So position 2 is plus 20%. I'm going to flip to position 2 and see which way they go. They went in the wrong direction. Okay. So I'm going to go to minus 20%. Okay. So instead of plus 20% on position 2, I have minus 20%, and both of these should go in the that direction. Okay, they do. All right. So now, full flaps are probably going to be, instead of minus 20, they're probably going to be minus, I'll start with, I won't start that high. I'll start with 50%. Let's see how much that moves. Okay. That's 50% for position 2. And so for position 1, I'm just going to cut that in half and say that's minus 25. Remember, this is a starting point. We'll refine this once we get the servos in place and hooked up to the aileron. The other thing I'm going to do is go down here to the bottom where it says speed, and I don't want those flaps instantly up or down. So the speed, I want it to be probably 4 seconds. So the speed will be 4 seconds. And so if you watch these now, you'll see them move very slowly. Okay. All right. I can already, okay, the speed is fine. I already can tell that the minus 50% isn't enough for full flaps, but we'll get there later. The other thing we can do is we can adjust zero if we have to. So before we lock down the push rod of the aileron and the control horn, I'll want to get full deflection of the flaps, and or enough deflection for this. This flap is, I mean, this aileron is very big, and it's got a very large deflection. And so what we may have to do, instead of position zero being actually zero centered, we can have it go in the other direction to be zero and get more of a throw if we need. So that's the left and right wing. I'll be back in a second to do the rudder and elevator.